everybody. So apparently Imperator Caligula, following my response video to him, has rage quit the internet, or at least rage quit YouTube. No, Caligula, I'm not gloating about this. You said in your video that I would be gloating about this. No, not really. I did leave you a comment, but I thought I'd try and put some of this into video so other people could share my thoughts. Now, I couldn't help but notice in your video you seem a bit, for want of a better word, hurt. You seem a bit attacked, or you seem to feel a bit like you've been ganged up on. I mean, the problem with that is, do you not see a certain irony there? I mean, the video I responded to that you did, in that video you were basically calling people a bunch of wimps for not being able to handle online harassment or online bullying. And that was the overall thrust of your video. The bit I picked out was the transphobic part, but the overall thrust of it seemed to be that. Now, do you not see a certain irony there, that now, because I've done a response to you, which I didn't think was anything like as harsh in its tone as your video was, that you're now sort of acting very defensive and acting like you've been treated unfairly, and acting very hurt. And I'm not calling you like a wimp or anything for being hurt, because that's not my stance. You see, but do you not see kind of the problem with that? I mean, what you've got to remember as well is that when you're feeling all kind of hurt and attacked and defensive and everything, I mean, that's exactly why I feel it's necessary to speak up for people such as people who are non-binary, or people who are transgender, or whoever else, because they feel like that all the time. Everywhere they go, in most areas of their life, they're going to experience this prejudice. They're going to experience this feeling of feeling bullied, including in places where they shouldn't. Even sadly, some areas of feminism are not welcoming to trans people or non-binary people. Thankfully, these areas are challenged by other people in feminism, the more tolerant individuals in feminism, but nonetheless, I mean, you've got to understand that that tells us that these people who do not fit the gender binary experience a lot of prejudice, a lot more than the rest of us do, because they also, certain people within gay rights don't recognise the T or the Q in LGBTQ. They don't recognise those. They're happy with lesbians, they're happy with gay men, and they're happy with bisexuals, but they, for some reason, decide to draw a line at trans and queer folk. And logically that makes no sense. You'd think empathy would say, well, I don't like experiencing prejudice for this reason. I'm asking people to check their privilege on this, I'm asking people to check their straight privilege or their male privilege, but for some reason when it comes to cis privilege, I'm just going to, I don't see that, I'm blind to that. That seems to be the case with some of these people, and it's very sad. So I just think it's very odd, or very telling to me, that you're gonna put up a video acting like I've bullied you or something because I did a response. Now, I did actually consider, before doing the response, is it ethical to do this, because your channel is smaller than mine, and I thought, well, would I be doing the same thing Sargon does to me? What Sargon does to me is he basically just sends legions of his stupid fans to my channel to down thumb videos and post stupid comments, which sadly for him doesn't particularly faze me. That's why I'm featured, by the way, in me and a few other channels are featured in the trailer for Sargon's channel, because it's the not so subtle way of saying to his fans, please can you go and hassle these other channels, please can you go and annoy them, and hopefully they'll leave the internet, is basically what he's trying to do. It's a bit of a nuisance. I sort of noticed this because I had this sudden wave of new sort of Sargon moron drones posting shit on one of my videos, and I was like, oh, there's got to be some reason for this, and someone pointed out to me, yes, Sargon had featured me in his new trailer. So it doesn't bother me particularly. It's a bit of a nuisance, but it's not something that particularly bothers me. But the difference is, though, I think most of my subscribers, from generally what I've seen, although they can be kind of hostile, they do actually make arguments. So if they go to one of your videos, they're more likely to actually make an argument against what you've said, rather than just post stupid ad hominems or appeals to popularity. Because that's all I ever get from Sargon's fans. I just get them pointing out that he's more popular than I am, that my video, surprisingly enough, has more down thumbs than up thumbs. Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it if I had an argument with a channel that has 30,000 plus subscribers? I might get more down thumbs than up thumbs. And the other thing is just the usual ad hominems, people just throwing mindless, meaningless insults around. But most of my subscribers, from generally having observed their behaviour, both in my comment section and sometimes elsewhere, they tend to at least make arguments. But yeah, they're going to be a bit hostile if you're being transphobic, because transphobia is vile. It is a truly vile prejudice, and it is one of those prejudices which only really now is really starting to properly be addressed. I think it's one of those prejudices which has gone unchecked for a long time. I mean, society still has a long way to go with sexism, it still has a long way to go with racism and so on, but transphobia, that's still something that we're only really starting to address, I think, as a society en masse. We're just on the cusp of really addressing that. People are still going to be angry about it. So I just think it's your reaction just seems to me to be a bit hypocritical and a bit of an overreaction, to be honest. Yes, I have no particular interest in picking on your channel, by the way. This is not like, I'm not going to follow every video you do and do a response if that's what you're worried about. And I'm not entirely convinced that your rage quitting is completely sincere. I think once you've got out of this sulk you're in, you probably will return. But I just wanted to address this. I think it's a bit unfair to say I'm bullying you. And no, I'm not gloating that you've left the internet, because that's not really how I do things. I'm not Sargon. But you see, this is the other thing, like, I link to your video in the description to my video, which I'm assuming subscribers of mine did follow. But you see, what else do I do? If I don't put the link there, people, might think I'm quote mining you. I'm not really letting you have your full say if I don't put the link there. So, because I've only used a portion of your video, by putting the link there I can let people go and watch your video in its entirety, just to make sure I'm not quote mining. But yes, the negative flip side of that is people who don't like what you've said will follow through to your comment section. They will follow through to your video and post. So it's a bit of a tough decision to make, isn't it? By not linking, I'm sort of not really letting people see you have your full say. But by linking, it runs the risk of sending people through to your channel. So I don't really know how else I could have addressed that, really. But yeah. Anyway, let me know what you think. Goodbye. Day 11. Trying to open this thing. I'm putting this down. a Christmas pudding.